What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the next stimulus package update, daily news, pretty much everything you need to know about on a daily basis. What's going on in our country, Washington, D.C., money, investing, the stock market, everything you need to know about. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. And if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. Also, I will have a special guest appearance for you at the end of this video. Also, we're giving away $1,000 in total to random viewers who guess what's in the box. We're going to be having a contest here before Thanksgiving where we're going to be giving away $1,000 in total before Thanksgiving. So I will tell you about how that's going to work here at the end of this video and our special guest at the end of this video. So make sure to watch all the way to the end so you find out about how the $1,000 is going to work and get to view our special guest appearance. So you'll see that at the end of this video. So let's jump right in. Pfizer announces today that they are seeking emergency use authorization for its COVID pill that treats the virus after you catch the virus, and they're seeking emergency use authorization here today. Yeah.
That's right, Shauna. We just got news that Pfizer did, in fact, apply for emergency use authorization of its COVID-19 pill just hours after giving the heads up with CEO Albert Bourla telling Stat News that the plan was, in fact, to go in today. This is one of two pills that are now creating a lot of excitement, really, for the treatment space. We know that up until now, vaccines have been at the forefront. In addition to the news on the application, Pfizer has also announced that it is in partnership with the Medicines Patent Pool and allowing its drug to be used in 95 other countries, and that includes low and middle income countries, in order to get more use out of this and sharing essentially the recipe of that pill. This is something that Merck, the other pill waiting for FDA authorization, is also has also agreed to do. So not only are these two companies really in the lead for creating new treatments for COVID-19, but also looking to share them with the world. Back to you.
Now, in addition to Pfizer requesting emergency use authorization, which could come here in the very near future for people that catch the virus and test positive for the virus, this would be a treatment once you actually have it. The Biden administration is expected to announce the purchase of 10 million courses of the Pfizer antivirus pill and another by Merck as a potential game changer to help tame the pandemic. The Biden administration is expected to announce this week that it is purchasing 10 million courses of Pfizer's COVID pill, a multi-billion-dollar investment in a medication that officials hope will help change the trajectory of the pandemic by staving off many hospitalizations and deaths, according to two people with knowledge of the transaction. Wow. U.S. officials see this antiviral pill and another by pharmaceutical giant Merck and Ridgeback Biotherapeutics as a potential game changer to help restore a broader sense of normalcy and are eager to add them to a small arsenal of treatments available for Americans who actually catch the virus, as there's not really that many treatments available once you actually catch the virus. And in fact, a lot of hospitals will actually turn you away potentially if you don't have a lot of symptoms. With breakthrough cases rising and 30% of American adults not fully vaccinated, health officials believe the pill will help tame the pandemic because of their ability to thwart the virus's most pernicious effects. Pfizer announces earlier this month that its experimental pill, which would be sold under the brand name Paxlovid, I think that's correct, reduces the risk of hospitalization and death by 89% in high-risk people when taken within 3 days of onset symptoms. That's a lot. We're pretty good, I would think. The company filed an application on Tuesday for emergency use authorization with federal regulators. Pfizer said on November 16th, today, that it will allow generic versions of the antiviral pill to be sold in 95 countries. Wow, I'm very surprised that are going to allow generic versions. I wonder if that's right off the get-go. Hmm. They have said that they have already started manufacturing the pill, and if the FDA clears it, the therapy could be available right away, though in very limited quantities. Pfizer has said it may have enough treatments to cover between 100 and 200,000 people by the end of the year, and millions more in the first half of the year. The White House declined to comment. Now, 100 to 200,000 people might sound like a lot, but that's not really a lot. And here's why. When you look at the new cases that we have per day, just yesterday we had 148,455 people test positive just yesterday alone in the United States. Just in one day, 148,000 people. The 7-day moving average is actually going up now. 87,000 people per day testing positive on average. 148,000 just yesterday. So we're actually moving back up here. Almost 150,000 people just yesterday testing positive. For some reason, every time I try to change this to new deaths per day, it says something went wrong. But we've been averaging between 1 and 2,000 new deaths per day. We're at 763,000 total in the United States, and worldwide, something's wrong there too. But 763,000 total in the United States. Moving on here, student loan got some new student loan forgiveness here. Student loan borrowers begin to receive $2 billion worth of student loan forgiveness. Here, just coming out here, over 30,000 borrowers will receive student loan debt cancellation in the coming weeks here. Yeah. The Biden administration's temporary PSLF waiver will make it easier for thousands of borrowers to have their federal student loans forgiven. Over 30,000 federal student loan borrowers will receive an estimated $2 billion in forgiveness as part of the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, according to an Education Department spokesperson. Of them, over 10,000 of them have already seen $715 million worth of debt for canceled, and many of them, as many of the remaining 20,000 borrowers will receive forgiveness in the coming weeks. Still, about 43 million borrowers owe an average of $39,351 each, according to the Education Data Initiative. And while President Biden campaigned on canceling worth of $10,000 of federal student loan debt per borrower, his administration has yet to enact widespread student loan forgiveness. But you can see in this other recent article just 2 days ago, student loan forgiveness, U.S. cancels another $2 billion in debt. Yeah. Under President Joe Biden, the government has wiped out over $11.5 billion in student loan debt, student loan forgiveness for select groups of borrowers. Now, Education Department says a new round of relief is coming, with notices going out in the coming weeks for about $2 billion in federal student loan forgiveness. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona tells borrowers to check their email inboxes. Interesting. You might not have realized you qualify for one of the debt cancellations granted to about 600,000 borrowers who now have more ability to increase savings, invest money, and deal with other debt. But what happened to the idea that Biden supported to cut debt for every borrowers? Lawmakers and activists who support erasing loan balances question what's taking Biden so long to decide. The Biden administration has made a series of announcements throughout the year as it eliminated student loan debt for one group of borrowers after another. Several different groups have been gotten cancellation. It's been group after group. The latest came this week when more than 30,000 borrowers, including veterans and military members, in a new round of debt cancellation for more than 30,000 people. Pretty awesome. The government already told 10,000 people about the relief, and emails will reach about 20,000 more over the next few weeks. Other student loan debts canceled under Biden include 1.7 billion for public service employees, including teachers, first responders, nurses, and others. $7.1 billion for borrowers with total and permanent disability. $1.1 billion for people who attended the ITT Technical Institute accused of misleading students before it closed on the students back in 2016. 55 million point six for people who attended three other trade schools that misrepresented themselves to students, according to the organization. $1 billion for additional borrowers who accuse schools of defrauding them. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is keeping the student loan repayment, interest, and collection on hold through January 31st, 2021. If you think you might qualify for any of these student loan forgiveness programs, I'll put a link down below in the description of this video. If you're looking for the description, you might need to click the down arrow next to the title or kind of click on the title. And I'll have a link to the studentaid.gov official website of the US. Be very careful because if you Google it, you may want to make sure you go to this website or just look at the link in the description. Where you can, there are in certain situations, you can have your federal student loans forgiven, canceled, or discharged. Okay, and there's forms to do it. If you think you fall into one of those groups, again, I'll have a link to the official government website where you can get student loan forgiveness if you think you fall into one of those groups. Biden has campaigned on doing $10,000 or more for everybody. I think that will be coming in the future after they pass this next stimulus package. I don't think they want to kind of muddy the water before they pass this package, because if they do it before they pass this package, that makes it less likely for people like Joe Manchin to pass the package. So it kind of makes sense to do it after they get Joe Manchin's approval, if you kind of know what I'm talking about. Meanwhile, Democrats are mulling cutting into their Thanksgiving break to start voting on this next stimulus package, which could start as early as tomorrow, based on what this article says. The Senate typically leaves town on Thursday afternoon, the week before Thanksgiving, and they are scheduled to return to Washington on November 29th. But if you've been watching my show, you know that I never make a big deal about them going on recess or going back to break or anything like that. A lot of times they're in this case, it's a holiday, it's Thanksgiving. But in this case, or in other cases, a lot of times their recess is really a work period where they go back to their states and work, which is why it's not really recess, it's more actually a work period. But if you've been watching my show and you know this, I never make a big deal about this because literally the House or Senate will just call them back, okay, to vote. And they have really done that. And if you've been watching my show, you know that's true. So that's why other people kind of sometimes make this a big deal. They've gone on recess, they can't vote. And that's completely not true. And if you've been watching my show, you know that they have literally, the House and the Senate has called people back when they have been on recess, which is really, in this case, they're going home for Thanksgiving break, but that's a little bit different than what we've had in the past, where their recess is not really, it's not really a recess, it's a work period. Because remember that these representatives and senators are actually elected for their states, okay? So they have to actually go and work in their states. So for example, if you're a representative of New York or Texas or California, you can't always be in Washington, D.C. You have to sometimes be in your state of Texas, New York, California, Iowa, New Jersey, whatever state you're from, right? You have to actually be in there with your people, talking with your people, your constituents, be there in your district, in your county, in your city, and actually like there with your people and working for your city, right? Or your county or your state, right? So a lot of times they actually go back to their state and city and county, and then if they have to vote on something in Washington, they simply just come back. They jump on a plane or drive if they're close enough and go back and vote. The House of Representatives can actually vote remotely, I don't believe the Senate has a remote function to do that because they're living in archaic times, especially with the whole pandemic thing. You would think that the Senate should just set up a remote function to vote remotely as well. But the House has a remote function where they could just jump on a conference call, Zoom call, or something like that. And if they're in California per se, they don't even need to jump on a plane. They could just log on and say yay or nay and vote on that. So the House can actually do that. Ah, yes, my wife wants to remind me. I think they can do that in the Senate. Maybe I'm not sure about the Senate, but my wife wants to remind me that they can also designate somebody to vote for them as well. So, for example, if I can't even think of a good analogy for this, but yeah, if they got the virus or something like that, but they could just designate somebody to vote for them. So they can designate one of their aides to vote for them or another congressman. So if I was a congressman and another congressman said, "Hey, Jimmy, can you vote for me? I want to vote yes," and maybe they fax in a piece of paper and have their signature there, so they can prove how they want to vote or something like that. They're also set to be voting on the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, which they want to be voting on as well. Of course, if you know Congress, they're always working on several different things as well. Here's a quote, actually. Congressman Durbin says, "Nothing is sacred when it comes to politics. We've been here Christmas Eve. We've been here New Year's Day. We've been here New Year's Eve. Nothing is sacred," says Congressman Durbin. The NDAA is one of several issues on the Democrats' to-do list. Congress faces a December 3rd deadline to fund the government shutdown. Democrats are also working to pass President Biden's social and climate spending bill, the stimulus package, and they are expected to soon need to raise the debt ceiling to prevent the government from literally defaulting on or around December 3rd as well. It could be a little bit later than that, potentially, because the Treasury is already doing extraordinary measures. But to be safe, they need to really pass it by then just to make sure. So, yeah, we have a lot of things to do here as well. National Defense Authorization, the government shutdown, that's a hard deadline, December 3rd, as well as the stimulus package and the debt ceiling. There's not a shortening of things to do here.
Tan
Ta-da!
tan. Nana, you can give me sweets after this. Nana, you can give me sweets after this.
Oh yeah?
Nana, you can give me sweets after this. Can I tell me that?
Yes. Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Yeah. Tell everybody what you've been up to.
I've been reading 2 books or something.
Yeah. And tell them we've been singing Christmas songs.
Christmas songs.
Yeah, we've been
What's
singing
that
about
song?
we've been singing about Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah. And tell everybody that we're going to be giving away $1,000.
What is a $1,000?
Yeah, $1,000. Yeah. Can you say $1,000? Do you know how much money that is?
$10.
1,000.
I said $10.
So how it's going to work is we're going to have a mystery box. We're going to do a contest called What's in the Box. And I'm going to give you guys 10 clues to guess what's in the box. And we're going to do like one clue almost every video. I don't know if there'll be a clue every video or so. Once we start the contest here in the next day or in the next couple days here, I gotta pick a. What are you doing? So I gotta pick an item here, and we're gonna have a come up with the clues. And what are you doing, silly? Yeah. So then I'm gonna give you guys the clues. I recommend you write them down, and when the clues start at first, you'll probably have no idea what it is. But as you get more clues from watching the videos, you'll get a better and better idea of what's in the box from the What's in the Box contest. All you have to do to guess what it is make a comment, okay? If you guess correctly, then you're entered into the winner's pool. And from the winner's pool of people who guess correctly, then I have a little program that goes and randomly picks from the people who guess correctly, and we'll pick 10 people to get $100 each for a total of $1,000 that we're going to give away. So 10 people will win $100, and they'll be picked randomly just to make it fair. And we're going to do this again in December for another $1,000 total. Okay, so that's going to start here, I don't know, in the next couple days or something like that. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. And it's going to start here soon. So What's in the Box contest, that's how it's going to work. And get a pad of paper ready. And either way, even if you don't win, it's a really fun game from what I've heard. I actually have a lot of fun doing it. And I've had literally thousands of people tell me they had a lot of fun doing the game because it's a lot of fun guessing with the box. I make the clues fun. It's a fun game. Maybe we'll have Julian on here helping with the questions. Do you want to help? Do you want to help with the questions? We've had Mommy help with the questions in the past. So that's it. That's how it's going to work. It's going to start here soon, and we're going to give away $1,000 before Thanksgiving, and we're going to do it again in December. So make sure to subscribe down below, and I will keep you up to date here. So you want to help me, Julian? You want to help me? Can you say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Say we love you.
We love you.
And say you can click here to watch my newest video next.
Click on the next video. Bam, bam, bam.
And you can click here to watch my video about Social Security raises.
Bam, bam, bam.
They want to raise Social Security by several $100s per month. So
bam, bam, bam.
So click on one of those videos next.
Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam.
Say we'll see you in the next video.
See you in the next bam, bam, bam.